Okay, so in this in-depth video, we're going to talk a little bit about sends and returns. We're not going to handle necessarily 4KO method, but you may be able to infer that information. But we're really going to talk about, say you got a stereo effect that you would like to put in here, or a chain of stereo effects, or a non-stereo effect. There's 4 sends and returns um, on here. So you've got send 1, return 1, send 2, return 2, send 3, return 3, send 4, return 4. All right. So with that being said, this flexible routing. So when we go in and we want to say we want to put a send and return, we go down to the send and return. We can choose whether we want to do mono. You have send 1. You have send through send 4. You also have return 1 through return 4, and then you have FX loop 1, FX loop 2, FX loop 3, and FX loop 4. So where this might be beneficial, let's say we want to put loop 1 right here, loop 1. And then we drag that down here, and then right here we might want mono loop 2. So what that does is we got 1 and 2. Let's put these different so we're not confused here. Let's put 2 down here. So we have, oh, I had it right. Okay, there we go. Takes a little bit of brain work. Anyway, you've got your loop 1. That's right here. Loop. It's both in and out. It goes, sends out and comes back. So it's going to pull whatever you send it to, and say you've got a mono delay over there and a mono reverb. I don't know if they do that, or you want to put in, you want one of them to be one, send 1 and send 2 is a drive, and you put it back here. Say here's the amp and cab. Let's just grab one. So we got an amp and cab, and you want to drive. You have a special drive pedal. It's got 1 input and 1 output, so you can put it in effects loop 2 or 3 or 4. It doesn't matter. You just have to plug. So we're dealing with send 2. So you have a drive unit, and you send out of the helix to the input of whatever drive, and then the output of the drive goes into the return. It comes back. It returns to the unit. So then you can change the level, how much you send out and how much you return back, and the mix. Whether or not you're mixing at 50%, that means you're sending only half of the signal through, and I don't know if this causes dry through or not. I think this is one of the issues that maybe they're working on. I don't know that. I'll have to get a little more in depth on that aspect, but this is more for hooking up different effects. And then you have trails. So if you have a delay unit, so let's move on and take this back and put it here, and this one over here. So you have the 2 separate. What if you wanted one side, you wanted trails for you've got it going to a stereo delay. This one's going left, this one's going right into the single delay unit, and then coming back in stereo, but you only wanted the right or the left or whatever to go stereo, or to trail off. You can set one or the other for trails. So let's make it simpler though. Say you want a stereo, you want to put a stereo effects loop after the amp. And this is going to be probably the easiest way to go is you put an FX loop 1, 2. So it takes this whole batch, it sends out and comes back. All right? So you've got send 1 and 2 left and right going to your effects unit and then back. Now, here's something else that you could do. Say you wanted to receive a dry signal, stereo. You wanted to receive a dry signal, but you wanted the effect to come in later. So you take your send return, and this is actually send 1 and 2, so they send out, but later on, say you don't want the delay to affect the modulation of the optical trim, okay? Then you could take and put in after, you put in the send return, so you would put the return of 1 and 2 there. So it will send out, and it will come back in here. So it'll go around what you have programmed there. And again, your mix controls how much of the dry signal goes through versus a full-on going out and coming back. There you have it. Just a quick little video on the send and returns. We can probably talk even more and we'll get more depth. Go ahead and leave your comments if there's something you don't understand. Have a fantastic evening.